Oh no, I love it. Listen, in that clip it said cricket, the game that will make grown men cry. And Cindy.
Cindy cries all the time.
Cindy cries
crying
all the time.
forever, guys. But did not cry that day you got your century. Cried tears of joy, guys.
Yeah, that was morning, firstly.
Morning, Temba.
Sorry,
Temba
Bavuma.
Bavuma.
Sorry.
Oh, man, it's hello.
We're so excited.
Yeah, that was, I think, 2016. It was a memorable moment for myself, for the family, but obviously for the country as well.
When you reminisce on that, like, cause I mean, not, there are very few people in the world who have managed to do that. Like, what do you think about it? Like, where are you? Like, are you still on the crease? You know, are you where everyone is celebrating with you? When you think about that moment, where do you go?
So I think what for me stands out is hearing the voices of the kids speaking in that video. So while I was batting, I think I was about 70, 80, started to get nervous. Obviously, the thought of getting to my first 100. There's I don't know how well you know Newlands, but there's a grass section of it. And in that section, you had all your KFC mini cricket.
Yes, Cindy's spoken about this before, yeah.
Yeah, so you could actually hear the kids shouting. And
what are they shouting?
so I'll explain it now. So having come from Langa, I've got a nickname called, because I liked Sachin Tendulkar, but there's a certain way that the guys in Langa call it. So hearing the kids, they were shouting, instead of saying Sachin, they would say Seshin. That's how they would say. So I would hear that. I mean, that was quite goosebump in that moment. So for me, that's the memory that I remember. And obviously seeing my parents and in the suite. Parents never used to come watch my game, so I don't know what happened that day, but they were there. But those are the two biggest things that I
think
remember of that day. Yeah.
And what's it like now? Because I've always said I feel tennis players, F1 drivers and cricketers, you guys are you're the real gladiators, because in that moment you've got a full stadium, hey Tim, and not even in the moment where you got your 100, just at any given time where you put on the South African uniform and you take your badge and you get it. It's there's a bowler coming at you, you know. That's pressure. How do you compartmentalize it? How do you break it down to be like, this is how I'm gonna do this here, I'm gonna do this there, I'm gonna do this there, and then it's gonna get me that 6?
It's weird because I think once you walk onto the field and the game starts, it's almost like you get into a different mode. So it's very hard for me to explain as to how I'm able to mentally, or I think any player, it's very hard. I think once you get onto the field, you kind of get into a certain zone where all that matters really is what you need to do. Like you say, as a gladiator, you're trying to get the best of your opponent. You're trying to take him down. Obviously not literally, but you know, you wanna be better than him. So yeah, you just get into a different zone. Yeah.
But Anele touched on individual sports there, right? She said golf, Formula One, tennis, that kind of thing. And although cricket is a team sport, at the end of the day, if an individual doesn't do well, it really shows. You can see. So and I know you've had ups and downs in your career. So how hard is it, especially now, to pick yourself up to go, guys, I'm still that guy that scored the century in 2016. I've still got that in me. I am the guy. It's very difficult.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, cricket is an individual sport. There's 11 individuals who all have a certain role that they need to play. But I think also it's also a case of if someone doesn't fulfill his role, you can be made up. It can be compensated by the other guys. I think accepting it that it's part of the game. It's part of sport where, especially for us batsmen, you fail more than you succeed.
And people only remember the failures.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think also, I guess it's my learning of being a leader as well. Your failures tend to get highlighted a lot more than your successes. I think that's why they say leadership, captaincy, it's a lonely space. And I think the sooner you're able to realize it, the easier that it will be for you to kind of build up the mental reserves to be able to deal with all of that. But it's not easy. It is tough, but I think it's part of the journey, and it's part of what makes it satisfying at the end when you actually do succeed. you prove the people that support you right.
Okay, so Frank, I can see you dying. You are.
I've got a
Sneak
question
it in.
about
He's not
this.
going to answer it though. He'll answer it after we do news.
To this point,
Yeah.
I saw Roger Federer, because we're talking tennis as well.
Yeah.
Roger Federer is saying in his whole career, he's won 54% of the points that he's played, right? And because you can relate this to cricket as well.
Yeah.
The century comes every now and again. It's not
Yeah.
every match. But I want to ask about standing at the crease, because it's the same thing with tennis. Your opponent, you're standing there knowing this guy does X, Y, Z. And I want to know, when you walk out onto that wicket and you're standing there and the bowlers start rotating, which bowler do you go, oh my gosh, I don't know what this guy's gonna do right now, right? Which one gives you that? Which one makes your stomach go like that little bit of a? Ugh?
And I love that he says that his nickname from the Langa days of playing cricket down in Cape Town, Session, not Sessionton, Session, like a session, all right? And that's his nickname. But Frankie, you had such a question for him before we took a break.
Yeah, I was asking because I know that. I mean, this is the thing. Like you were saying, gladiators, batsmen are gladiators, man.
Totally.
It's basically you against the other guys on the field.
You against the world.
All right, and I was asking because I know, I mean, certain bowlers, every bowler has a different style, Oaks are different, vibes. I just want to know from Temba, as the captain of this team, which bowler rotation, when the bowlers are rotating or you're playing a different team, which bowler gives you that, like, you're standing at that crease going, hey, this could go either way, hey?
I hope they're not listening on this. But I think for me, whenever you play in the subcontinent and you're facing the spinners, it does become a bit tricky, especially when the wicket has deteriorated, where you're not too sure how much the ball is going to turn.
And those balls can turn, hey?
Yeah. So for me, that's where you kind of you need to keep your guard up.
So you would much rather face a fast bowler than a spinner?
Yeah, because I mean, here in South Africa, we grow up facing fast bowlers. Our conditions are suit or conducive for fast bowling, so that we kind of used to. But it's a spin where our conditions don't really favor spin. That you need to be a bit more intentful about what you're doing. Yeah.
And now you guys are off to the West Indies this afternoon. You're going to be there, right, for a month. Outside of cricket, because you've played in the West Indies before, right? Outside of cricket, what are you looking for? Is there like a meal where you're like, oh man, I can't wait to have that spicy rice outside the stadium because it's like that, like that. What are you looking forward to when you travel to the West Indies?
West Indies is a lovely place to tour. I think it's obviously island life.
Yes.
Pura vida.
So then just say rum. Just say rum and coke and keep it moving.
There's lots of that. There's lots of rum that flows there. They've also got this spicy chicken, jerky chicken.
Okay.
That they do.
Yes.
So looking forward to that. I like my chicken. Also experiencing the culture. I think it's one of the places where people actually know their cricket and are avid fans of the game. So whenever you bump into them and you chat to them, it's actually quite nice listening to their thoughts and feelings around the game.
Because that's like their national sport.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, they do athletics and cricket. Those are the two things they do.
And so when I said, what are you looking forward to in being away for a month, I thought you were going to say getting some sleep, because I understand your son's about to turn 1 year old.
I didn't want to say that. I'm glad you said it. But that definitely I'm looking forward to. Actually, yesterday, he fell asleep at about 8 o'clock. And he was up at 1 o'clock.
Oh.
And then from 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock, we were, entertaining him.
What's his name?
His name is Lihle.
When does he turn 1?
Turns 1 on the 29th of September.
Okay.
So what party are we planning? That's a Sunday. Obviously, there's
I'm speaking to the coach first because we've got a tour to Ireland during then.
Oh, and they don't like us, so you need to be on top form, eh? They don't like us at
Ireland.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to be on top form there. But I'm trying to be around for that, and then obviously join the guys for the tour. But in terms of what we're planning, we'll have to speak to my wife.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, I'll fast. Talk to my wife. Cindy, because Cindy tweets a lot about sport, right? So, and I wanted to tell the story when you're back in here, because the first time I met Graham Smith, as he was walking towards me, I was like, oh Lord, what rubbish have I tweeted about this man? I really panicked.
True.
And then, like, because we were at a golf weekend in Fan Court, and then at the end of the weekend, he said to me, You know, for the rubbish you tweet, you're actually quite a
nice
cool person to
Yes,
hang out with. I
yes,
really
I
dig you.
remember that.
Do you remember I came back and I told you, I was like, whoa, I think Graham Smith and I have made up. We're friends now. So when I first met Temba at a Range Rover car launch,
you worried?
I was like, oh crap, I hope.
What have I said?
What have I said about this man? So like when you meet people who've tweeted nonsense about you, like what do you say? Are you guys trained to take the high road?
So I think I try and make it awkward, to be honest.
That's wonderful.
I'll
I
go to the
appreciate
person.
that. Yeah.
I'll greet them, look them in the eye. How's things going? Everything well? And I think for me that's enough. And you
Yeah.
kind of just walk away.
So you don't leave like a parting shot. You're like, I'm still captain, eh? And then you walk away.
No. I'm not like that. But also I think you can't follow everything that's being said. You can't internalize everything that's being said. I think you'll go crazy. Yeah.
What do you think you could be better at? As a cricketer, as a sportsman, as a South African representative,
As a leader.
As a leader, it's just something where, quietly to yourself at night, you're like, oh, I really wish I could be better at that thing.
I think it's strengthening the bonds that you have with the members of the team. I think for me that's something, because I think I'm quite a to myself type of person, reserved person, so I can kind of be in my own space. So I think from the captaincy point of view, something that I have to be a lot more intentional about is really wanting to step into someone else's space, understand how they're doing, just strengthening that human connection between the person, and not just relying on when we're at practice or when we're at the cricket, when we're in the cricket field. I think that's something that I would like to improve on.
Well, speaking of those team members, you've got quite a few new guys travelling with the squad to West Indies, right? In terms of batsmen, you've got Tony De Zorzi, you've got Tristan Stubbs, you've got all of them. Now you are the veteran. So how do you gel with those youngsters coming in? Because we're not expecting them to shine immediately, even though we are playing the West Indies in the West Indies, but they're not doing great at the moment. You can never predict what's going to happen. So when those youngsters are having like a tough time, how do you step up as captain? What do you say?
Yeah, I think one of your roles as a senior player in the team is to help those younger guys kind of find their feet a bit quicker, and really get accustomed to, I guess, the standard and intensity of international cricket, but also what our team is about. So you kind of have to step out of your own space and make that effort to understand the new guy that's in the team, what gets him going, and most importantly, how you can help him do his thing within the team. We've got some nice young guys within the team, the guys that you've mentioned, exciting guys. And I think if they are able to replicate the performances that they've done at domestic level, I think they will continue to carry our South African flag.
Look, as much as I want Shaun Mendes and Taney to sing, it is not every day that we as Anele in the club have got a proteer in studio, okay?
A captain.
My captain, Temba Bavuma. So we're wrapping our chat up with him. He has to go pack. He's going to the West Indies this afternoon.
So, I mean, the Proteas have got to play the World Test Championships, right? You've got to get points, got to beat teams to get to the final, etc.
What is that?
Basically, you play Test cricket in over 2 years, and then they take all the points, and then the two top teams
play each other.
Yeah, in a Test cricket final. There's like the final of Test cricket, right?
Oh, so it's the World Cup of 5 days.
That's it.
Okay.
So South Africa's got to play the West Indies and Bangladesh away from home. Then we host Sri Lanka and Pakistan, which everybody's now saying, oh, it looks like we're set to make the final. How confident are you, captain of the Test team?
Glad people are confident. Yeah, I think we do. I mean, we do have a chance. We've always had a chance. But I think in old cliche fashion, we want to take it game by game. Obviously, with the West Indies now. Like you said, we've got West Indies. I think Bangladesh is going to be a tough tour. Bangladesh is not an easy team to play and beat at home. And I think if we can get over that one, then we have Sri Lanka and Pakistan, who are also tough teams. But I think what will be in our favor, it will be in home conditions. So, look, I haven't thought that far as of yet, but I think, probably our chances are a lot higher in terms of looking at the fixtures. But let's deal with West Indies first, then we can chat.
Yeah, when you guys are playing here at home, don't forget about it.
It's only the only reason we got you here, bro. Sorry. I
Only reason we invited
tickets
you here.
to the show.
We just tired of begging for cricket tickets, bro. I was just like, let's get Temba in here and be on the VIP list forever. And Cartel.
947 always has a snitch somewhere along the line. You might know this one, and I know that I'm sure that when you have some kind of stick and a ball in front of you, you're expected to outperform everyone else, right? But Msisi James says over the weekend,
You guys played golf.
over the weekend, you play. Yeah, exactly. You played golf in Dahlstrom, ne? Where were you guys, Dahlstrom?
Yeah.
And apparently he says he was not impressed by your performance. He says you came 7th overall. I don't know who was in the lineup, so I don't know. I mean, you probably had 3 professional golfers ahead of you, but anyway. And you shot a plus 21 over the weekend in your handicap. Is that? Can you confirm or deny, sir?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's not mentioning where he ended up on that leaderboard.
Absolutely. Please tell us where he ended up, because that's actually the question we have. Where was he?
You should ask him.
Oh,
If there were 12 members, he would have been. He's definitely the 12th.
Oh!
literally, he's the 12th man, guys. Like, literally.
Do you enjoy a round of golf?
I love golf. We were on this past weekend. We went to Highland Gate with the boys. CZ was there as well. Yeah, we had a great time.
Filling up numbers. Mrs. was just
Yeah,
filling
no,
up
no.
numbers.
Someone has to drive the golf cart, guys.
Actually, on the Sunday we played together, the 4-ball. Normally golf takes about 4 to 4.5 hours. Took a little bit longer. I won't blame it on CZ, but it took a little bit longer than what it was meant to. But it was a fun day, fun weekend actually. Incredible bunch of guys that I got to meet. I didn't know all of the guys, but yeah, fun bunch of guys.
Nice.
Listen, thank you so much.
Is he here today? I want to have a word with him because
No.
I don't like the comment.
He actually isn't. He picked the right day to not be at work. No, he's not here. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut this and we're going to play it on his show on Monday night.
And then we'll record his response and send it to you in the West Indies. Okay?
Please, please.
There we go. Temba, thank you so much for coming out to chat with us. Really, I mean, when you
it's
hear
good.
those kids talk about, I want to be with Temba Bavuma because he's from Langa. You know, from Langa to the cricket pitch to the world, continue to make us proud. And yeah, if we ever say anything about you on social media, we are sorry.
I'm watching now. I'm watching.
Yeah. Please.
We're sorry and we're on your side, and don't forget those tickets when you guys are playing in South Africa. Thank you. Temba Bavuma is out of the building.
Anele and the club
on 947.